Okay, I repaired the skid from my last review, or update as it may be. You see, new one. Took it out today after work. All I did was replace this. As I showed y'all, blades, nothing got hurt. Popped it in the air, flew perfect. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I like this head so much over the Pro. I am going to rebuild. I'll probably just replace my Pro head and try that again, but I just seem to have a better, crisper flight with this. And it might be, well, no, it couldn't be the head speed because I flew this head at 3,000 and the Pro head at 3,000, and I still like this one better. It seemed to track a little better. I don't know why. The Pro head is a little stiffer, and that might be what it is for me. But anyway, as I said, replace the skid. I use the two-piece skids with the tubes from EXI. They're cheap. They're more durable than the one-piece because, you know, it's a lot thicker here. I mean, these will bend. You can bend them back. Hey, you go on your way. It's personal preference. A lot of people put 500 skids on here. I may do that to get it up a little bit. I've never done it. I don't know how it's going to look. But anyway, back to this. As I said in my last video, I've been test flying this 2415-6T Towered Pro TOWARD motor. It says it's a 4400 kV. A couple of things. I do recommend this motor as a cheap, high power thrill. Anytime you get into a larger power output, what you want to make sure of, you get this gear mesh right. I always take a piece of receipt paper, fold it in half, and stick it in there and push the gear all the way up on it and then tighten it down. And my gear mesh always comes out good. When you get into high-end motors or even just cheap high-speed motors, you can tear this gear up if it's not mating properly. The tail is 100% rock solid. In my other review, I told you if you're blowing out your tail just sometimes and not all the time, you might pop that bearing out of the hub in the one-piece bearing. Put some green Loctite on the inside of that hub and press that bearing back in. My tail's been dead rock solid ever since I did that, and that was a mystery problem for me for quite a while. It was actually aggravating me to the point I almost gave up on flying this thing. So, my Pro head still needs to be rebuilt. I still have 2 more of these, and, you know, this is sitting on a box, which, you know, there's a whole brand new one that I haven't even bothered to do nothing with yet. I keep a spare on hand just in case. This is the $50 one with the basically the SC2 head. It is the Pro frames, swash, and this one is the $50 one, so it has the belt drive. It's worth itself in parts. An extra head just so I can just pop it on and go. You know, an extra set of gears. I've yet to break a frame, knock on wood, but if I do, I have a couple extra frames right now. A boom, you know, tail blades, you know, slider, the whole 9 yards. To me, it was worth it. I am in the process of putting together yet another one. And since the actual Pro version with the torque tube is on sale for $70, I'm thinking seriously about going ahead and ordering another one of those. I was looking at replacing my Pro head. Since I did tear up the main head on it, the Align one's $26. I can get a generic one for $10 off eBay, anywhere from $8 to $10. Or I can order it from EXI or hobbyking. Preferably EXI. I heard the metal on the hobbyking ones is a little cheaper. I added it up. By the time I buy the head, you know, mess with this, mess with that. You know, if I spend $70 on the whole helicopter, I've got a whole torque tube. Whoa, zoomed in. Sorry. I've got a whole torque tube assembly. I've got a brand new head. You know, I could basically pull the head and the back off of it, slide it onto my frame with all my electronics, and be flying again. It's a little simpler. It's probably not as cost effective, but hey, sometimes it's about easy. I can tell you, if you fly this motor, as in my other review, you're either going to want to run a governor or you're going to have to change the tooth on it. And in my last review, I actually went through and calculated it on, Castle software. You're going to need about a 50 amp speed controller if you run this motor and try to push it. Honestly, I've gotten 46 amps out of it. That's at 11. That's on a 3-cell pack. I'm actually probably going to convert this one over to a 4-cell system. I can get a 4-cell pack, almost the exact same diameter as this pack that's on here now. And that'll give me more voltage, which means I pull less current to get the same power, because your power is calculated by your voltage times your current. So, if you've got a 500 watt motor at 11 here, you divide your voltage by your power, and you get the current that you're going to pull. So, if I'm pulling 46 amps on a 3-cell, if I go to a 4-cell, I'll probably be in the low 30s. I'd have to do the math on it. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. It will pull me down into the 30 range, maybe just under 40. But, the less current you pull, the cooler everything runs. The most I've ever gotten out of this is 103 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry. And that was with a 3-cell battery. 103 degrees is really nominally safe. They say never get them above 200. Well, I'm about half of that. 103 degrees, you can touch it and not hurt yourself. Body temp is 98.6. My speed controller never got warm. Now, I know a lot of people think this is an odd place to put that speed controller. It's in there, and nothing touches it. And it's in the perfect spot for me. These gears have basically a slanted fan type design. They actually push air down, which blows over top. It's to help cool the motor, but it actually blows over top of my ESC, which helps cool it. I was thinking ahead when I did this. That was the whole reason of me mounting this in here, was to help cool this in case I really push it hard. Again, I love this. The only thing comparable to this I've seen is a Turnigy Super Brain. I've read a lot of negative reviews on it. A lot of it has to do with the heat cutoff. And I think if you run a separate BEC and just use this for speed controller, or use the Super Brain for the speed controller only, that solves a lot of your problems. A lot of people are getting a 40 amp for a 450. Honestly, I think you should go with the 60. And that would probably solve the problem also, with it cutting off in midair because of heat. It also does data logging, has the governor mode, everything. I don't know if it's as good as ICE. I'm not trying to tell you not to buy one. It's a little cheaper. I may buy one just to try it out and see, because it has the USB interface and everything just like Castle does. But after having one cheap speed controller that did great for several flights, if you look back at my earliest reviews, and then on one flight, it just literally burst into flames. After that happened, I went to Castle Ice, and I haven't went back. This thing is 100% rock solid all the time. No problems. And the simple fact that when I'm done flying, I can pull up a data log for up to an hour of flight time and just kind of look through it and see what my peaks are and what's going on. To me, that says it all. If you have any questions, got any comments, feel free. I will be flying this, and I'm hoping to possibly, before the weather gets too bad, get a friend of mine to come over and hold the camera, the actual HD camcorder that I have, and get some footage in the air so you can see and hear the blades. At 3200, this thing is killer. At 3400, it even intimidates me a little bit the first couple of times I spun it up, because I wasn't sure if it was going to hold together, honestly. I did at 3400 lose a set of carbon tail fins. I am running stock plastic ones. They have not flown off of it. They're pretty solid. The blades I'm running, I haven't had any problems out of those. Do not, if you get up above 3000, do not run wood blades. Just don't do it. A blade flying off is a really bad thing. It can hurt or kill. You know, these things are spinning ultra fast. It would be like a bullet almost going right through you. I can tell you that if you've flown your T-Rex at 3000, as I was doing, once you push it to about 3400, it does come alive. I mean, I thought it was nice at 3000. It felt good. I was doing some stuff with it. At 3400, I really like it. It's really given me a new love for this helicopter. I'm actually thinking about getting a better set of blades, because I'm still, you know, these are, I think, $4 or $6 carbon fibers. No, fiberglass blades. And you can see it has the plastic root. Well, you can't really tell in this, but there is a root underneath there. You want something that's going to reinforce this. I'm not even sure if carbon fibers would be the better way to go at those kind of head speeds. The big thing is, a good blade will have like a metal wire in the front edge that wraps around here, so it shouldn't sling off even if it separates. Just, if you're going to do it, don't fly a cheap blade at those head speeds, please. The worst thing you could do is have one come off, especially if you've got other people around. Thank you. Bye.